Welcome to Feng Shui Living, the podcast designed for busy women who want to de-stress, live with intention, and create a home that truly supports their well-being. Each week, I'll bring you practical tips, insightful ideas, and simple strategies to enhance both your home and your life. Let's get started. If you love this podcast and you're ready to go deeper into this work, my book, Aligned at Home, is designed to help you start shifting your space right away with simple, approachable guidance. And for those of you who like something maybe a little more hands-on, the Aligned at Home workbook gives you prompts, exercises, and checklists to actually walk through your home and make some changes. You can snag links for both the Aligned at Home book and workbook in the show notes. Hello, friend, and welcome to this episode of Feng Shui Living. I'm your host, Lisa Morton, and I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're here. If you are new, welcome. If you're a returning listener, thanks so much for joining. We're going to piggyback off of last week's episode a little bit. Before we do, I want to share that I just finished up Color Mastery, which is always a delight to share. I feel like that kind of brings in some new people, fresh energy, and we also just get to talk about color, which what could be more fun? I'll be having it again. If you missed it, don't worry. I'll be doing it again. Interior Design Basics is coming up next. And then after that, we'll be prepping for our next Aligned at Home Collective membership call. So that is my monthly membership group where we have a 1-hour call once a month, not a huge commitment. Here's the thing. We had initial founder member pricing, and now we have a still, we'll call it an intro rate of $19.97 per month. And before long, we're going to raise it up to our normal rate. So if you want in on this membership collective, you can cancel at any time. But if you want to get this pricing, then be sure to sign up now. If you have any questions, pop over to my website, go to the collective tab. Oh, and you also get a free download of the workbook, my Aligned at Home workbook, which accompanies my book, Aligned at Home. As being a member, you get that as well for free. So, oh my gosh, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm trying these blue light glasses. So I normally wear my main glasses, my blue glasses that I love. But once in a while, I wear my contacts, and I'm still finding that I get a lot of eye strain. So I'm trying the blue light blocking glasses for the whole week to see. It's a little like week-long experiment. Does anybody else struggle with this? Oh man, my eyes are fried at the end of the day. So as I said, we're piggybacking off last week's episode all about the home office, and today's topic is all about your home office and why it might be blocking your breakthrough. I want to start with something that recently happened with a client who, man, I just adored her, and she's brilliant. I get to meet some of the most amazing, impressive women with this work. And oftentimes people think they're all pretty crunchy, kind of woo, kind of different. I work with financial advisors, physicians, accountants, really analytical people, right? And it's so fun, the amazing, interesting people I get to meet. But she came to me because she was feeling really stuck. Well, they were looking at a home remodel. But then as we got to talking, it came out that she was really stuck in her career. She's brilliant, right? And she was prepared for all these new opportunities, but they just weren't coming to her. And you could definitely tell there's some frustration. So we started out with the full shebang. We did an energetic space clearing where we learned some really interesting things about the home. And then I did a full feng shui assessment of her entire home, located every little nook and cranny, told her everything she needed to know right now for her goals, as well as moving forward. Her home, while it was really beautiful and quality and really nice quality materials and had a lot of love and intention there, it was energetically misaligned. It was really heavy in one section of the house. There were areas of the home, following a Ba Gua map, there were areas that were missing. So we really had to bring it fully into alignment and then look at the career gua that was absolutely missing from her home. Now, if you're not familiar with the Ba Gua map, don't worry, we're going to do a deep dive. But what's important for you to know is that your home is energetically speaking to you and talking to you and influencing you. And if a major part of your life, like your career, is literally missing from your home, from your living space, then your energy just isn't aligned and you're not aligned. And those opportunities that are sitting right there on the other side of the door, they're just not finding you. So today we're talking about the career gua, what it means when it's missing, and exactly what we did with her home to bring that energy to fruition and to bring it in. So here's a little spoiler. It wasn't complicated, but it was really powerful. So let's talk about the Ba Gua map. The Ba Gua map is a map of 9 different areas or guas, and each area corresponds to a different section of your home and a different aspect of your life. So the career gua, utilizing what is called the 3-gate method, the career gua is typically in the front center of your home. Now, if you have kind of a unique shaped home, reach out. You can always schedule a free 15-minute discovery call over on my website, but we can locate your career gua. But think about this area as mirroring and showing you your career and the possibility. And when this gua is not aligned, or it's fully missing, this can cause a lot of difficulty getting where you want to go. So let's do just a quick review of these different guas I mentioned, or energy centers, as I like to call them. You know, I'm a yogi. I've done yoga for 20 some years. And so I always like to compare this to our chakra system, right? We have these different energetic centers in our body, and so does our home. Now, it might sound really woo at first, but then once we get into this, you're going to be like, it makes tons of sense. So we have the career gua, which is all about your career and your life path. So it doesn't mean you're an accountant every day and you go to an office, right? It could mean you volunteer. It could mean you're a PTA mom. It could mean whatever you get up and your life goal is that day. Life goal is in the future. We have knowledge and education is another gua. We have a gua for about helpful people and travel or movement. We have a gua that's all about family and ancestors. And not too long ago, I worked with a client to really honor her great-grandmother's recipes. We framed these beautiful recipes and placed them in this magical, beautiful area. There's also health and well-being. There's creativity and children. There's a wealth and abundance energy center. And if you are new to learning about this, you're definitely going to want to go listen to some of my episodes all about bringing in abundance and harnessing this energy center. Now, there's also a gua or energy center connected to fame and reputation. Now, this doesn't mean you want to be famous, but this means this connects to how you want to be seen in the world. So we also, with my client, we also lightly touched on this area as well to make sure she's being seen. And then lastly, there is a location in your home connected to love and relationships. So I always tell people, when we locate this area, I have them look around and then reflect on their relationships. If this location is messy, are their relationships messy in their life? Maybe relationships with coworkers or with family. Or maybe it's a beautiful, tidy room that makes them feel really good and it's filled with colors and materials that really bring them joy. And they're realizing, yes, I have a lot of joy and I'm just so happy with the relationships in my life. So it's something interesting. So I'm not asking you to dive into every area of your home. What I'm asking for you to notice if life is showing up in your physical space. And the more it shows up in that physical space, the more it can show up in your life. So, as I mentioned, using the 3-gate method, your career or life path gua is going to be at the front center of your home. Now, oftentimes the front door is here. In my home, it's here. So my career gua is right at my mouth of chi, the front door. It could also be off to the left or off to the right. So if you're standing outside your home, maybe standing on the street, looking at your home, is it center to the left or to the right? And then you know what energy center it falls into. Now, her front door, her career gua was not at the front door. In fact, her home was a unique L shape. So the garage came forward and there was a big empty space. So her career gua was literally missing. Now, I gently told her this, and I know there was a moment of panic on her face, but no one is doomed, right? We can do a lot of work here. Her energy felt unsure, and her front door also felt a little unsure. It needed direction. It needed stability. And I realized that this energy also had nowhere to land. Again, it was beautiful. It was maintained beautifully. If she's watching, listening, oh my gosh, it was beautiful. But we needed a few little ways to send out signals for opportunity. So here's what we did. We energetically extended the home outward by bearing some crystals and bringing the energy out and honoring some trees that were out there as well. Now, it might sound really woo and out there, but it really works. We then worked on the opposite corner of the home that was out of alignment. It's kind of like a teeter-totter, right? We need to just get it just right. And that's what we did. We then brought in some light, some color, some awareness, and some direction, bringing energy to this front door through plants, through lighting, through coloring. She's even getting ready to repaint the front door. I recently talked about a lesson that I learned with my own home and connected to the front door. And she has kind of learned something very similar with her own home. If your front door is in the centermost area, one of the best colors you can do for your front door, colors you can bring in, are the colors of blue or blacks. And find it kind of interesting. I'm wearing blue or black today. So bring in some blue or black. She's painting her door. I painted my front door. You don't have to do that. You can even bring in some blues or blacks through a decorative rug outside, maybe some cobalt blue pots right out front with some flowers, or a pretty wreath on your front door and maybe some little blue flowers. So you don't have to remodel. You don't have to redo everything. Just think about small little touches you can bring in to enhance this career gua. So I'm very excited that she's feeling empowered, right? We just finished the consult. We just reviewed everything, but she's feeling empowered. And that alone is starting the energy. And then we also talked about using the front door, which is very important with it being the mouth of chi, is using this space and getting energy flowing here. So in this process, what she learned and what I want you to learn is that your home is either supporting your goals or creating obstacles. Everything you do in your home is affecting the feng shui or the energy of your space. It's either affecting it in a really good way or affecting it in a not so good way. So we always want to just think of it on that sliding scale. Oftentimes I work with clients and they'll say, oh, I heard this is bad feng shui, or I heard this is good feng shui. And I always encourage everyone to think of it as less of good and bad and more of we can do better or we're on the right track, right? It's more of a sliding scale. Don't get down on yourself if your career gua is just not where you wish it was. There are easy things we can do. Even if you're completely missing this area, you're not doomed. Remember that when you align your space with your intention, things really, truly shift. Not magically, but energetically. And when energy moves first, then opportunity follows. And when you have some place for it to land, it will find you. So if you are working on an exciting career goal, I would love to know about it. Let me know if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. If you are listening on audio somewhere, pop over to my Instagram and let me know what kind of goals you're working on. And I will see if I can come up with some more tips for you guys. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me on this episode all about activating your home and learning about, how you can get that breakthrough in your career. All right, best of luck, friends. Special thanks to our sponsor, Elevated Living School of Holistic Design and Feng Shui. For more information, head over to the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time.